The target bag got with the crossbow from Blades and Bows. It came as part of the package, part of the gift that Nick sent me. This is one of them. I use a similar thing myself, but I make myself out of the bags you find on building sites. I've shown a video of it on here, how to make them and that. The advantage of this is it's made of like a far thicker material, more robust material. It's probably more waterproof. I left the other one out in the rain the other week and it let water in. What I've done is I've stuffed in here carpet, quilts, cushions all packed down in there. There's 3 quilts in there, believe it or not. Very, very tightly packed down. The other good thing is that it sits flat on the floor. It's like a block, so it's not going to fall over if you hit it with a good shot. The other one you tend to need to wedge the other one. So I'm quite happy with that. And I'd heartily recommend one of these to Jack Striker. You know, they're not small, they're quite big. 25-30 yards, you know, you're going to be able to see it outside without any sort of like telescopic sight and that. Looks good. You can see, I left it out in the garden last night for a bit. You can see it in the dark really well, which is another added bonus, you know. The only problem I've got with it is like Ted thinks it's another Shih Tzu, and he keeps trying to fight with it. But it can take shots. My target bag that I made was taking shots from my mate's £225 compound, so yeah, I know it can take the shots. It's actually got more crammed into this one than I had in my own, so I know that works. When it comes to these, the cockernades, I really try very hard not to use them, but some people have to. It's handy to have one in case you're ever injured, you know, your shoulders or your arms, or you know, if you're ever in a situation where you're going to rely on being able to load your crossbow and you get injured for whatever reason, you know, they are handy to have in there. But I always try and just, any poundage your crossbow, I always try and like school myself to hand load them, you know, hand draw them really rather than use these. With the higher poundage bows you get nowadays, it is very, very hard, you know, none of us are getting any younger. So, I don't really, these have a place, but first choice would be a couple of hours a day with the dumbbells really, rather than rely on this. Like I say, not stupid to have them, and people who need to use them, like my daughter's bigger than me and she can't load a crossbow without one of these, so they do have their place. I just try not to use them. I'm not against them, I don't knock them, I just try not to use them myself. But there is a right and a wrong way to use them, and you see a lot of people using them the wrong way. This is they need to be. I'll show you when I attach them to the bow. As you can see, I've shortened these here because these need to be, once those hooks are on the string, the handles need to be as close to the string and the hooks as it's possible for you to humanly manage. Like I'll show you now. You see people pulling them up over their heads and stuff because they've got the handle ends too long, so I'll just demonstrate if I can. See if you like. There's almost all crossbows today. In the old barn at Wildcat, you used to have to cut them in if you wanted to use one of these, but there's almost always a ridge, like a receiver on the back of the breech area for these. So you see how close the angles are to the string? There, very easy to pull. Observe the same rules when you're lifting a dead weight. Bend your body slightly, take the focus out off your lower back, and then in one movement, always with your foot in the stirrup, just pull. You shouldn't come up anywhere past your chest really, your solar plexus area, really. You see people like lifting their hands up over head height, that's not good.